Hi everyone and welcome back to Sim by the Mile. Today we're taking on the classic route from Providence, where we are at the moment, into Boston using Train Sim World 5. We're going to be driving the Amtrak ACS-64 with its iconic colouring. With the Boston commuter route coming out this Tuesday, it's the perfect chance to experience the route, take in the scenery and enjoy a detailed run through the bustling stations into Boston. So it's time to get started, and we'll do that by setting up the train. So firstly we'll put the handle in, we will get the doors unlocked, and passengers should be loading. We've got a few stops on the service today. We're stopping, leaving Providence where we are at the moment. We then have a stop at Route 128, then Back Bay Boston, and finally Boston South. Back Bay and Boston South are both featured in the new route as well. While we are waiting for our passengers to load, we'll just finish setting up the cab. Front headlights dim. I'm not used to driving the American train, so this should be interesting, especially American passenger services. But I'm quite looking forward to today's little trip. I think this might be the first time I've ever ridden on this route as well, so it should be an interesting little trip. I am more excited for the new Boston route coming out, which will be out in a few days, but I thought perfect opportunity to go back and see what the original route has to offer. A few seconds behind getting passengers loaded, so it'll be a few minutes, a couple of minutes late, just leaving Providence here rather. Getting confused as what station we're at. There we go, lock doors. So, this should be all set up with my rail driver controller, so we need to make sure we have brake mode set to passenger. Hopefully I've not messed up the order of that. Show wipers set to off. Well, we're moving. So this train is a bit of a beast. It's a diesel engine. Is it a diesel engine? Pretty sure. Oh no, it's an electric engine. Getting confused with the other one. So it is an electric engine, so it should have decent acceleration. And one of the things it's known for in real life is its speeds and reliability. And the engine itself is able to operate up to 125 miles an hour along the Northeast Corridor, which is one of the busiest rail corridors in America. So we'll have to keep our eye on the speed. Whether we'll get anywhere close to 125 miles an hour on this run, I don't know. It's be one of the things we'll find out as we go. But yeah, because of its speed, it's obviously quite popular along the Northeast Corridor, which this route is part of. We have another section of the Northeast Corridor as well in the game, which is the section between New York and Trenton. And I believe you also get the same train with that. So we're cleared up to 60, so we'll start letting her go a little bit more. We got about 30 miles, just shy of 30 miles before we get into Route 128, which is a weird name for a station. I'm assuming it's named after a highway. So yeah, as we get out of Providence, let me know, are you excited for the new Boston route, which comes out in a couple of days' time? It'll be nice to do something different, as a lot of the time I spend doing the UK routes, so it'll be nice to, you know, experience the new American route. We did do San Bernardino, and that was fun a little while ago. If you've not checked out the San Bernardino video, we're going from Auto Club Speedway into LA. That took about 40 minutes, the whole run. and that was fun to do. It was interesting, although we did have a lot of frame drops and stuff on the San Bernardino route, so hopefully this one's a little smoother. I'm not sure why the performance was so bad in the San Bernardino video. But yeah, it's nice to get out a little somewhere different. We do have a few speed restrictions at the moment. We're set to 70 and we do need to get down to 60. Now, I believe this is has a few different braking methods, but it does have a combined throttle and brake. So we shouldn't have any issues with that. One of the Boston commuter trains going back in the other direction. That is the... I think it's the... I don't even know what train that is. I think it's the FO4EPH, it's the engine there, with its pink livery. It does stand out, and that is included with the new Boston route, probably upgraded as well from the original, with the new physics and everything, and all that good stuff. We do have a couple of CSX freight wagons parked there as well. So I'm going to brake now just to get down to 60. Hopefully the combined throttle and brake is decent, because it's sneaked up on me a little bit there. I'm just going to add a little bit of application on the main brake. There we go. We got this yard just at the side of us, so I'm assuming that's the reason why we're having to slow down to 60. We are cleared back up to 70, but then we've got another 60 right afterwards, so there's no point in increasing our speed for such a short distance. We may as well just cruise at 60 or just below. That way we already meet the next speed restriction, which should be coming up just now. There is a good chance in this video that I go and completely overshoot one of the stations, because I have no idea how good the brakes are on this train. It may end up being a bit of a disaster. Another little branch line heading off that way. And we stay on the electrified line going around the curve. And in a moment we should be able to open her up and see what she can do. A 125 mile an hour speed limit coming in a second. We'll just have to wait for the back of the train to go through that. And there we go, we're cleared up to 125, so let's get our move on. Put the throttle on pretty much all the way to maximum. At 125 miles an hour, we're going to make short work of this 25 miles. We've got to go to route 128. So I believe this route is from the Train Sim World 2 era. And there is an engine you can get. We've not got it this time. No, we've just got standard Amtrak's colours. But there is a engine you can get on this route that does have Train Sim World 2 branding. I believe that was a real Amtrak's livery that they did run for a little while back. When did Train Sim World 2 come out? Probably about 2019. It's been out a few years. It was a few years ago. And I think this was one of the base routes with Train Sim World 2 at the time, which is the reason why I own it, because I think I got Train Sim World 2 mainly for the tube line. I've just got an achievement there for the amount of miles we've done in this train. We have done a little bit. We just got a freeze there as well, I'm not sure what that was about. We have done a little bit of this on the New York Trenton line. And that's about the only time we've used it. I'm not sure if this is one of the routes as well that's had a route upgrade over time as well. I know they have gone back with some of the older routes and given them upgrades and timetable upgrades. And they're going to be doing the Great Western Main Line as well soon, which is probably the first, maybe the second route that was ever released for the game. I know the first route was Sandpatch Grade. I'm pretty sure this has had a route upgrade, but I might be wrong there. What I am sure about is we're now cleared to go up to 150 miles an hour, so let's pop up the throttle and get a move on. And we're just absolutely rocketing now up the main line. We have this big stretch here where we're going 20 odd miles without any stopping, and then I believe we have quite a few stops in quick succession. Pretty sure Back Bay and Boston South are quite close to each other in terms of stopping distance. And I don't think it's that far from the Route 128 station. So we have this little bit where we can max out the speed, and then it all basically gets a little tight as we finally get towards Boston and get into the city proper. So when it comes to American routes, I know, as I said, I don't do a lot of the American routes. We have done the San Bernardino line, which came out with Train Sim World 5. What's your favourites? If you do have a favourite, let me know, and I might be able to check it out myself. For American stuff, what I want to get, again, I'm not big on it, is I do kind of want to get Horseshoe Curve. Mainly because I was playing Train Sim Classic a little while ago. I actually streamed it, and I was playing the Norfolk Southern Coal route, and that's up in Pennsylvania, up in the mountains. I'm trying to haul coal trains either up to the coal mines on the top of the Appalachians, or manage the train on the way back down, and that was a lot of fun. And it's a very pretty area as well, with the mountains and the trees, and it's a different vibe to, say, Cajon Pass, where it's deserty. And Horseshoe Curve is kind of in the same area, I guess. It's Pennsylvania and Norfolk Southern, and that's probably the closest at the moment we can get to doing that for US freight. So it is something I wouldn't mind at some point. I'm not going to pay full price for it, but adding that to the collection and then getting to do some of the heavy US freight stuff. Of course, we do also have Sandpatch Grade as well, the original Train Sim World route. I'm not sure whereabouts Sandpatch Grade is located, but it kind of again has the same vibe to Norfolk Southern and that type of stuff. And again, that's the CSX route, and we got a load of CSX cars we've just gone past on our left. We're pretty much max speed for this train at the moment. Maybe ever so slightly over max speed, as we're 126 miles an hour. I think the max speed's meant to be 125, but I won't tell anyone if you don't that we're over speeding the train, and I'm sure the passengers appreciate that extra little bit. Get them there to their destination early. On this mile marker towards a racetrack, Route 128, not racetrack, not on San Bernardino, is coming down like a shot. Only 12 miles left to go as we race towards our first stop on the stop of the day. Performance, apart from that one freeze we've had so far, the performance has been pretty much spot on this route. I'm going to take the throttle off now and just try and drop us below 125, as that is the speed limit. We are fighting a little bit of an uphill as well, so should be nice, just slightly under the speed limit by about 5 miles an hour, but we were speeding all the way, so that's fine. I think we're going to start slowing down about 2 miles out from the station, and hopefully that should be enough to bleed off any excess speed we have. Again, it's a bit of a weird train, this setup, or at least I find it weird. A lot of the times with the UK trains, you'll have, especially in modern UK trains, you'll just have a combined throttle and brake system. Or you'll have separate engine brakes and locomotive brakes and just a throttle set up on like the older diesels, that type of thing. So this feels weird in the fact we have a combined throttle and brake here, but then we also have an independent brake and an automatic brake. And we have like different systems of braking. Not sure if it's like a standard US thing, that, but it definitely seems a bit weird. You also have to select your brake mode as well, and there's like freight, passenger on the engine, which is certainly different from how a UK train would be set up. We do have a few yellow lights coming up, a succession of them. We're only about 6.5 miles out now from our first stop. And if I'm honest, I don't know what that actually means. Well, we do have a red. I'm going to put minimum application and start slowing down. Maybe just because of how fast we are that it's giving us a notification to stop a few blocks out. So we may have a little bit of a wait here at a red signal. I'm going to increase the brake performance. I'm hoping before we get there get to the signal, it is going to turn red for, or it's going to turn green for us, rather. We'll let off and just kind of cruise around. We're holding speed at the moment. We do have a little bit of a downhill. We actually do have the yellow signals I was hoping for, so we can start increasing speed ever so slightly and building up a little bit. The red signal we had was just here coming into the station. You see one of the pink MTBA trains going through. It's a very interesting livery that train has. I'm a bit cautious about how much speed I need to build up here. The minimap is still giving us yellows, so I don't want to... If we are following, say, a service, for example, I want to give it enough room in front so we're not having to potentially brake. So I think 70 is probably fine at this point. We've got 4 minutes to go 2 and a bit miles, so we're not particularly in any rush to get back up to speed, and then we have to stop anyway, so I think just cruising at 70 for the moment's probably fine. And yeah, the signal after the next has gone red as well, so start braking again. Is Route 128 just a stopping? Is there actually a station here, or is it just asking us to stop? Oh, because the red lights... No, I think there's definitely a station, because I think it's just ahead. We can't really see it on the mini-map. Because these are the red lights here and the signals. I'd again like for it to change before we get there, but I don't think I'm going to get lucky. And then, yeah, you can see it on the mini-map now. The station's just popped in, and you can see it in the distance just ahead. We're just crawling along at 1 mile an hour, waiting, hoping it gives us the light, but it doesn't look like it's going to, so we'll come to a stop. Hopefully we won't be stuck here for too much longer. We are meant to be in the station in a minute's time, so... Okay, we've been given the signal now as approach medium. I was just having a little look. Oh yeah, we've still got the brake on. Let's get the brake out. Helps if I do actually release the brake. I was just having a look at a mini-map while we were away. There was a MTBA train going up the same route as us. So that's what we were waiting on. It has unfortunately made us late. But what can we do? Hopefully we should give it enough room to get out the way when we come into the station. Or maybe, I'm not sure if we get like an express track, but maybe we get like an express track and we can overtake. So yeah, this is Route 128, so despite the weird name, I believe this is one of the major hubs for commuters coming in from the suburbs into Boston, and has a lot of passenger traffic in terms of Amtrak, and also the MTBA line stopping there as well. So different services, both commuter and express, stop here. Looks like it's quite a nice little station as well for a US station. Quite a few shelters and such. 2 platforms. And then the bridge over the top, so it does seem like a nice little station. And here we go, hopefully our passengers aren't too upset with us. Have a little look on the external camera while we get our passengers boarded. But yeah, we got the bridge there, we got what looks like a major highway, that's probably where it gets the name from. And then, not sure what that is to the side, I mean, it's interesting. So it looks like we're about 3 minutes late thanks to that bloody MTBA service we've been stuck behind. We'll have to see if we're able to make that up in the next little section of running. There we go, let's get the doors locked and let's get out of here. Get these commuters off to where they need to go. So we've got 10 miles now to Boston Back Bay, which again is a weird name for a station. We still have yellow signals as well, so I'm going to say that we're still slightly speed restricted. You can see on the in the cab it does have approach medium and authorised speed of 45, and not line speed of 130. So I'll try and keep it at 45 miles an hour, which is what we're getting in terms of being given inside the cab. There we go, and now it's letting us go up to 80 in the cab, so... I didn't actually notice that, to be fair, for the first bit of the ride, so we might have just been busting speed limits the whole way. And just going at line speed and not the indicated cab speed. But still, I'm sure the passengers appreciate it, us going line speed. It wants us to be back down at 45. I'm assuming it's giving us this for spacing for services, for the services in front, the speed restrictions. Oh, now we're clear up to 125, so... having... the indicated speed is having us go all over the place at the moment. We're up and down, up and down. It's interesting, different though, that we have to pay attention to that, and not just line speed and... Again, 120 now, it had me go down to 45 then back to 120, it's all over the place. But as I was saying before it cut me off, it is a bit more interesting and different that we're having to pay attention to that in the cab, in terms of what actual cab speed it wants us to do. Is that common on all the US commuter trains or the Amtrak trains? Again, someone who's more familiar with the US stuff would kind of have to let me know. Always willing to learn more. But for now we're back at being able to go to line speed, so we'll go back up to line speed. We should hopefully start getting a bit more of the, you know, iconic Boston scenery and skyline and stuff coming through as well as we get closer to the city, so that's something I'm looking forward to. I mean, we're only about 6 miles out now, so we've not got far to go. Again, it's giving us approach medium, so we'll start braking. I now finally understand where that YouTuber gets his name from. Approach Medium does a lot of... well, he does more trains than Train Sim World. In fact, I don't think I've ever seen him do anything on Train Sim World, and also modelling as well. But a very good YouTuber if you've not, if you're into trains or just like to see him doing route modelling, or even his own model railways. He's very good, so definitely worth checking out Approach Medium if you do get the opportunity. I do like this bit with the graffiti. It's very... I'll say it does feel very realistic to be in the city and being like this like entrenched underpass and the graffiti everywhere. That's exactly what you'd expect, really, from a urban commuter line. So that's pretty cool. So the MTBA route should be joining us pretty soon, if it hasn't already. I'm not exactly sure where along here the new route joins the old route, but definitely Back Bay and Boston South are both included in the new route on the new section of lining, so it should have, if it hasn't joined us already, it should have joined us in the next couple of miles. It might even be that line just over there, to be fair, for all I know. Because there is a section of track just off to our side that isn't electrified, so it might be that section of track that will be going down potentially in the new route. Again, I'll find that out on Tuesday, I believe, is when it comes out, so a few days left to go. I am looking forward to that first run, though, into Boston. It'll be something different, and to be fair, I'm quite enjoying this. It's been a nice little, enjoyable cab ride. Just crawling through the city. I have another one of them MTBA trains, big heavy diesel units, so they can certainly, if they are diesel trains, run on that other bit of line there that's just off to our side. I'm assuming that must be where they run on, because I've not seen anywhere else they could run on. If it is going into the same stations that we have to go into, so it's got to be there. It's having us go down to 30 for the approach, so we'll put in a little bit of brake. And there we go, there's the iconic scene, there's the skyline coming in. So we're deep, right into the heart of the city now. And it does look pretty impressive. I do like the US cities with the big skyscrapers. And tower blocks and all that, so... It's an impressive sight as we seem to be heading underground for this next station stop. A little bit of frame stuttering there as well. It's the first time outside of the freeze we've really experienced anything like that. Wants us to be at 20, so get down to 20 miles an hour. Well, slightly more than 20 there. We broke a little too hard. So it seems like the station's just around the corner. We're in this tunnel at the moment, in the underground section. I don't see a platform, but here we go, it's coming into view now. It looks like we've got the light at the end of the tunnel as well. Again, this is a really nice little station. I mean, half the roof's missing, but it has its charm about it. Try and get to as close to the end of the platform as we can. That'll do. We've got a lot of tracks aside of us. It looks busy. There's a building up there as well, and I can't really see it on the camera, but it's an interesting little station. Making the camera do some weird stuff. Let's get back in the cab. So, once we're settled here, done here, we've only got a little short sprint to go to get to Boston South. And finish off today's little run. But yeah, overall, I think this is a pretty good route. I know a lot of people have said this is one of the better American routes in the community, and I can see why. It's enjoyable, the scenery's good. You've got an option of the express service that we're doing today, or the MTBA diesel commute services that we've seen go past quite a few times along the way. So yeah, overall, I probably recommend this as being a US route. We'll have to see once the new Boston area route comes up how they compare, and you know, although we do have these weird shadows, seat car shadows going up the wall there. There's one. So certainly it's not without its bugs, of course. I'm assuming that's a just a train sim world bug more than an issue with the route itself. Even in the San Bernardino route, though, you had like floating cars and things like that. So when we experienced that video, so yeah, all the routes have their odd issue. But overall, it's been solid, I think. Now I'm just noticing it all the time, them shadows of the floating cars. So we have a little bit of a go via and then once we've done the go via, it doesn't give me a distance to that, we then have the final station stop of South Boston. I'm just going to keep the speed low because we have a 15 and a 10. This is probably where the go via comes in, as it has a switching tracks for our arrival. Actually does have us on a red light as well, actually, where the 10 kicks in. A very tiny short block. I don't think it's going to change either. I'm just getting prepared to basically stop as soon as we go through this yellow signal in a moment. I'm hoping as soon as we hit the yellow, the signal ahead's going to change from being red to also be yellow and let us through. We going off to the side? No. Oh, there we go. Now we've got the signal. That's what I was hoping for. So yeah, this is just part of the trackage to get into Boston Station, which is just ahead of us. Here's the yellow, and then the station is just right round the corner. We are slightly speeding, so let's get our speed down. In fact, we should be at 10. So we'll really let us down. There was a little bit of going a little bit too fast there. But yeah, it's pretty as we go into the city with the skyscrapers right behind. Just going to use the combined throttle and brake here, just try and keep us at 10 miles an hour. Maze of trucks coming into the station. We do have a little bit of rain, so get the wipers on. Now I don't know if the line continues or this is a dead end. It looks like it's a dead end to me. I was going to say I don't know if the line continues through Boston anywhere else, but it looks like we're coming to a terminus. So here we are at Boston South. Again, it's been a nice little enjoyable ride through the Boston area. You have a few more of these MTBA trains at the side of us with their interesting colour scheme. As you can tell, I'm not really a fan of their colour scheme. Track 8 is where we're coming in at. So, wants us to stop just here. So let's put the brake on. As I said, I hope you've all enjoyed today's video. I have been Sim by the Mile. And here we are at South Boston. It's exciting that a new Boston commuter route comes out just around the corner. And it looks like it's going to be picky about where I stopped. This is going to be one of the ones where it wants you to be exactly at the marker. Come on, give me that. There we go. Right. So now it's letting our passengers off. Thank you all for riding with us. It's exciting that there is a brand new Boston commuter route just around the corner. I've been Sim by the Mile. If you've enjoyed this video, click the like button and the subscribe button. And join me for more Train Sim World and real life content. For now though, goodbye.